Right, let's see what we've got in the workshop today. Makita DWR180 18 volt ratchet spanner. Customer says that the ratchet head was not working or behaving strangely. So if we see the direction tab over, then it spins one way, sticks the other as it should, and if we turn it the opposite direction, then it turns that way and sticks the other way as it should. Feels fine. Yeah, I can give it a test with this and maybe undo the screw on this, see how that goes. And the battery, of course. So lefty loosey, that's that way. Oh, there's a lock on it here. Righty tighty. Oh, seems okay. But I think we'll take it apart and give it a clean anyway, because I know that these are very sensitive to dirt. First thing we do, open up the shell. You may have to use a flat screwdriver here because these like to come apart parallel. So if you start trying to lever it off, it just sticks. Okay, let's see what we got here then. We've got the controller, so the circuit boards, battery holder, the trigger mechanism. Quite a small motor, doesn't look super advanced, it's just like a permanent magnet brushed motor, and then you got the ratchet head. So let's take the head off. Okay, if we take the head off, you've got planetary gears in here. You've got this part here, which is the carrier, 3 pins, which slide into the center of these spur gears, and you've got the outside planetary gear, and you can see the outside of the planetary gear here has some raised pins, and those pins are going to sit in some notches in here. You can just about see them there. Okay, and so this one, the outer gear stays still, the inner gears rotate. They rotate the carrier, and the carrier rotates the pin inside there. Nothing wrong in there, you can see. No metal pieces. All the teeth on the gears look fine, so there's no problem there. So we get this one back together again and put it to the side. Okay, now we're left with the ratchet head. This socket holder is just pushed in the middle and held on with, it's like a C-clip there at the top. Put that to one side. Okay, and then the ratcheting mechanism sits in the top part here, and that we can very easily take out of these actually. So if we take some circlip pliers, open the circlip, flat washer with some flat sides. How many sides is that? 1. Oh my god, it's magnetic. I'm not even going to count them, but they're the correct number of sides in there. And then we've got a leaf spring washer. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. So So put those off to the side, and then the ratcheting mechanism should just slide out from the center of this. There we go. Okay, pretty interesting, this ratcheting system. It's kind of works like a sprag clutch, where these rollers become cams. So they roll one way, but they cam or perform a camming action the other way that stops it from turning. And depending where you have this pointing, will change the orientation of the roller cams to the inner and outer race, and so it will cam in a different direction. But I think the problem with these are that the parts are so small, so the tolerances must be tiny, so any kind of dirt and stuff you get in here is going to be causing problems, I think. If we take this cam roller cage off, those rollers will probably fall out. No, not really. You can see that on this selector here is a small spring and a ball bearing. I would advise you not to lose that, so set this to the middle, and that's going to keep those on the inside because they're absolutely tiny, and if you lose those you'll probably never find them again. Right, let's give this thing a clean. I mean, this hardly looks used at all, because if you can see, you can just about make out a couple of lines here, which is where those rollers start camming on this inner surface. So this has hardly been used at all, just a couple of little lines. Put that down there. And you see the cage as well has got these two pins that stick out, and those pins sit either side of the direction selector. So remember that for later. To be honest, I don't think we need to do more than just clean these and put some grease on there. But just so everyone can see how these come apart, we'll do that as well. And I know that these are tricky to get back together, so. But you know, I'm making a YouTube video here, so let's go for it. Again, the circlip pliers. Oh, now I'm using the wrong way, am I? Yeah, squeeze together, yeah. Squeeze that one. Keep that one to the side because it's probably a different size from that one. And then, in theory, some parts should fall out of here. There we go. Okay, what have we got here? We've got this cylinder in the middle with two pins. The one pin that went to the carrier from the motor, and this pin that sits up into the ratchet head. Put that to the side. Then we've got a flat washer and two roller bearings. These roller bearings or needle bearings? Not sure. And another flat washer, a bigger one. So put those to one side. What are we left with in here? Now we're left with, this is the part that oscillates from side to side. And makes the ratchet turn. And that should just pull out of there. There we go. That fell out of there. And then inside there was also this little olive, I'm going to call it an olive. I don't know what it's actually called. Right, and that's all of the parts that we are going to look at on this one. Give them a little clean, and then I'll probably grease them up and we'll put it back together. So, first of all, this olive, I'll put inside here. It doesn't fit in if you just try and put it in from the top. It doesn't actually go in there. So you have to slide it in from the side. So I'm going to put some grease in that, and that's going to keep it in place. Right, and then Also, this olive is too wide to slide directly in here, so it's going to tilt a little bit. There we go, went in there. Okay, and so that that sits in the right place, I'm going to put the ratchet mechanism back together. So it was the cage, goes on there with the 2 pins next to the selector, and then start to put the cam rollers in place. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of grease here just to help me stick everything in place. Really don't want to use too much grease here though, because I don't know what that'll do to the mechanism, and I find that too much grease will make dirt stick to it. So let's wipe off the excess. Oops, that's too sticky. There we go. Okay, I'm pretty sure these 2 sides are exactly the same. There's a number on there, but I don't think it makes any difference. So we'll pop that in there. That's it. So sitting there, and then it was the spring washer. Put the spring washer on, and it was this flat washer, and you want to make sure that this is in the right place and it's kind of springy, otherwise you need to turn it slightly. There we go, there it's springy, because if it's not springy then you won't be able to push it far enough down to get the circlip on. Like that. Make sure it's in. Yep, that's in place. Okay, well, what that's doing now is it's holding that centerpiece with the olive. I don't know if you can see down inside there, that you should be able to see the olive down there. There it is, and it's actually rotated a little bit, so we're gonna put this in here and just make it flat. And then, as well as being flat, I'm gonna push it towards the top of, or to the side, you could say. And the reason I'm doing that is because this pin here is offset. So if I leave the olive hole in the center, I'm never going to be able to get this pin into it. So I just push the olive to the side, and then I think we'll put the roller bearings in first. So first it was the small washer, then it's that roller bearing, and the next one. Okay, and then this with the offset at the top. So this bit's a bit fiddly because you have to get the pin in the middle of the olive. Pretty fiddly, this actually. Should go in there, looks like it should go in there at least. Maybe I pushed the olive too far over. Let's just bring it back a little bit. I think I did it. Oh my god, that took a long time and a lot of fiddling around. But yeah, it's finally in. So then I put the big washer over the top and the circlip back in there. I'm gonna make it smaller. It must be getting tired. Helps if I can actually see something, so I'll bring some light over here. Push the circlip in. Oh, it's actually not in there. we go. And you put this one back in, align the upper pin and the lower hole, and gently rotate it until it slots in. That was easy, thank God. Just lightly screw these on. Oops. They're such small screws that if you, they're easily rounded at the top, and you can easily destroy the back of the second half of the shell where you're screwing them into if you screw them too hard. So it's best to finish them off with a screwdriver. Put the holder back in there. Battery. See how it sounds. Oh, the holder came out. Sounds good. Other way. Sounds pretty good. Yes, job done.